We are back with a brand new video. What is good, you guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about and giving our mid-season NBA awards. Now, we are a little bit over halfway through the season, which is unbelievable for me to even say that we're over 41 games for a lot of these teams. It feels like the season just started yesterday, but we are here to give our mid-season NBA awards. So obviously, we have this 5 or 6 NBA awards. I just want to say before I give out my awards that there are a lot of candidates for a lot of these awards. So, if I have someone differently than you, that's completely fine. Be civil in the comments section. Maybe you might change my mind if you guys make an argument for your player. So that's all I want to say. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. On the road to 1K. So make sure you guys show some love. Turn on post notifications as well. Let's get right into it. So again, we're going to start off with Rookie of the Year because Rookie of the Year, I think, is one of the more simple awards. And I think this is a runaway award, man. And I made a video on this player. I don't want to, toot my own horn, but I did make a video on this player during the college season of last year and said why he's the #1 pick in the draft. And that is Paolo Banchero. You guys can check my archives, check my mock drafts that I did on this channel. Paolo Banchero was my boy. And I'm very, very happy that he is going to be the runaway Rookie of the Year because I think that that is exactly what Orlando needed. I was very, very skeptical of them taking Jabari Smith Jr. #1, Chet Holmgren #1, because I really thought that Paolo Banchero was not only the best player in the draft, but also fit their team really, really well. So, until the last day, it was all reports of Jabari and Chet. And, on draft night, I think Paolo just, it just turned to Paolo real quick. I think, 3 hours before the draft, Woj was Orlando's focused on Paolo Banchero, which came out of nowhere because before that they were all talking about Chet and Jabari. And yeah, Paolo Banchero, #1 overall pick, deservedly so, as we're seeing right now. He's going to be a very, very great NBA player. He's going to be a star, if not already. This kid is, he's in conversations to make an all-star team in his rookie season, which is ridiculous. But at the same time, just talking about his game, he's very poised, mature. The way he plays, you would think that he hasn't been in the league for only 1 year or half a year. You'd think that he's been in the league for a while because he just plays with the, a sense of confidence, which is a quiet confidence. It's not like he's running around yelling everywhere, but he's just someone who's just, poised and calm and nothing really phases him. And yeah, he's been putting up really good numbers, man. Averaging 22 points per game. Efficiency is not anything too special, but for someone who's taking all the shots that he's taking, it's not anything surprising. Also giving you 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He's been playing extremely well, and I'm super happy for him. So he's the #1 Rookie of the Year for me, and probably should be for everybody else. Other candidates, Benedict Mathurin, he did make it close at the beginning, but did kind of take a little bit of a dip. But he's still going to be a really good player, obviously. Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith Jr. kind of has turned it on a little bit late. Jaden Ivey has looked good at times. Jalen Williams, another one of my favorites from Santa Clara. He's looked really good for the OKC Thunder. So a lot of these guys have looked pretty good, but I think at the end of the day, it's got to be Paolo. He's going to win the award, and it's going to be a surprise to 0 people. So that is Rookie of the Year, and we can move on to the next award, and let's just go with let's go with Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is something that I think is a very, very interesting award to talk about. There are a lot of candidates for DPOY. Some people have been campaigning for themselves, and I think at the end of the day, you gotta when you pick a player for Defensive Player of the Year, you gotta look at both individual defensive metrics as well as team defensive metrics. So you got to look at how good the team is as far as, where they rank in defense. This team has the #1 defense in the NBA, and this player is a big reason why, and probably the main reason why. So that's why he's going to win my Defensive Player of the Year award, and it's Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. missed a couple of, weeks at the start of the season, but since he came back, the Grizzlies have been the #1 defense. He's been the main reason why. Very versatile. Rim protection is elite. He's been doing everything defensively for them, and I think that this is his award to lose at this point. As long as the Grizzlies stayed the #1 defense, I think he's gonna clearly win this award. Other candidates: Bam, shout out to Bam, Nick Claxton, Jarrett Allen or Evan Mobley, one of the two. I'm probably missing OG Anunoby for sure. I'm probably missing some other guys, but those are the 4 people. Brooke Lopez as well. Brooke Lopez. Apart from that, I think those are candidates, and they deserve love. But I think the the guy that I have winning the award is probably going to win it as long as the Grizzlies stay a top 3 defense or even the number 1 defense, which is what they are right now. And that is Jaren. So shout out to Jaren. He's going to, in my opinion, win this award. All right, let's go on to Coach of the Year. This is a little bit tough. There's a lot of candidates, bro. Joe Mazzulla, best record in the league. Mike Malone. You got 2 coaches that are, getting teams that have no business of being as high as they are into the playoffs, like Rick Carlisle and Mike Brown. You got Willie Green. You got Taylor Jenkins. You got Mike Budenholzer. Like, you got a lot of candidates, but ultimately, I'm going to have to give it to Jacque Vaughn because I think Jacque Vaughn is a very, 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 underrated coach. And I think he's done a very good job quietly in turning the Brooklyn Nets season around because the Brooklyn Nets were in turmoil. Let's not lie, man. Last year, after they got swept in the playoffs, Kevin Durant requested a trade. Kyrie Irving was dealing with this whole situation, whatever he was dealing with. Ben Simmons had not played a single game. Steve Nash couldn't deal with all that. And then they had to fire him because they started off the season absolutely atrocious. And once they replaced him with Jacque Vaughn, there was rumors about Ime Udoka. There was rumors about other coaches, but Jacque Vaughn was the guy that they chose. And a lot of people were skeptical, and he has quietly turned Brooklyn's season around. The whole KD situation is, seems like, it's repaired. Kyrie seems like he's more focused than ever. Ben Simmons looks pretty good. Like, he's helped develop and make guys emerge like Nick Claxton, Yuta Watanabe. Like, a lot of these players that, weren't really doing much last season for them, he's turned them into very solid role players. He in my opinion, deserves this award because I think for what he's done this season, deserves a lot of credit. So he's going to, in my opinion, be the guy who wins this award at the end of the year. As long as the Brooklyn Nets stay, as a top 2, top 3 seed, I think Jacque Vaughn, I think this is his year. So I'm going to give it to Jacque Vaughn. And we can move on to Most Improved Player. Most Improved Player, this is where I'm going to rant for a little bit because Most Improved Player is something that, what's it called? This has been bothering me. And the reason is, Shea is obviously what a lot of people are going to say. A lot of people think Shea should win this award or Shea's going to win the award. And I think Shea probably will win the award, but he's not going to be my pick. And the reason is I think the NBA made a very big mistake when they let Ja Morant win this award. And I think before, when it was the CJ McCollums of the world, the Victor Oladipos, the Pascal Siakams, the Jimmy Butlers, the Paul Georges. I'm probably missing. Giannis won this award. A lot of these guys won the award when the previous year they weren't really on anything. Like Pascal Siakam, before his MIP year, what was he doing? Like, did anyone think or project that he was going to win MIP? Did anyone project that he was going to be a star in this league? No. The problem is when you give it to guys like Ja Morant last year, who was a number 2 overall pick, who a lot of people knew that he was going to fulfill that potential and become an all-star, perennial all-star. And when he does that, when you reward him with the Most Improved Player, when guys like Desmond Bane last year, who surprised a lot more people than Ja Morant because a lot of people didn't expect Desmond Bane to take that jump. That's when it creates a little bit of a problem because Shea, a lot of people expected Shea to take a jump. The Thunder have really no other scorer. If Shea plays a whole season, he might go crazy. He has guys like, Giddey to help him, play a little bit off the ball, on the ball. Like, he has a really good situation to win this award because he can literally go crazy. He has the green light at all times. And a lot of people expected Shea to be like a star. It wasn't like some surprise. Even last year he was really good. Like, Shea averaged, I'm pretty sure in the year, the COVID year 2020, and like when the Thunder were in the bubble, when Chris Paul was on the Thunder, he was a 20-point scorer then, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know how you can give this award to someone who I think a lot of people expected to take this jump, which is why my award winner for the Most Improved Player award is Lauri Markkanen, because I don't think anybody expected Lauri Markkanen to do what he's been doing. Like, I don't think anybody expected Lauri Markkanen to have the season that he's having right now. And I'm not saying that this is a knock on Shea, because it's not, but even he should kind of feel disrespected by, being given this award. Ja Morant too, like, they didn't improve like drastically. Their numbers got a lot better, but like I think that's more because of opportunity and like stuff like that. But like everybody knew they were destined for greatness. Lauri Markkanen, like we didn't really know, he was a lottery pick from Arizona, didn't really pan out with the Bulls, went to the Cavs, was a solid role player, but when he went to the Jazz, I don't think anybody expected him to take this jump. I think a lot of people expected Colin Sexton to win this award, but it ended up being his teammate, who's Lauri Markkanen, who's going to be, top 3 in this award when the season ends. So he deserves a lot of love, man. I'm not saying like shout out to Shea, he's going to be a stud. He already is a stud, but it just takes away from the award when you give it to guys like this, when you give it to Ja and Shea, and even Anthony Edwards was someone who was in conversations this season, like who was one of the leading, odds for this award. Like that, it just takes away from the award when you have guys like that who are highly touted. People already know that they're special. Like they shouldn't be winning this award. It should be the guys who are kind of coming up from under the radar and turning into very good players. That's who this award should go to, not the guys who we all know are destined for stardom. So that's the only bone I have to pick with the NBA. For the Most Improved Player award, they messed up by giving it to Ja Morant last season. And it's going to go to Shea, which is fine. Shea's been playing extremely well, but I think the meaning of the Most Improved Player award changed last season. So that's the only thing I have to complain about. Shout out to Shea, shout out to Lauri. Other candidates, Anthony Simons, a lot of other people, man. Like, Most Improved Player is something that's relative. You can say this guy improved, but like, I think Shea and Lauri are like runaway favorites for this award. Tyrese Halliburton, some other players. So, but I'm gonna give it to Lauri. Next, we're going to go to Sixth Man of the Year. Again, very, very difficult. My Sixth Man of the Year can change in 2 weeks. I'm going to give it to Russell Westbrook. Because to me, more about how he's playing, I'm very impressed by how he's embraced his role, man. Russell Westbrook deserves a lot of credit. Last season, it was a tough year. We all know. With the Lakers, it wasn't smooth. He came into a situation where he didn't really fit in. LeBron and AD were too ball dominant. He couldn't really play off the ball. Defensively, he wasn't really engaged. But this season, Darvin Ham asked him if he would be willing to come off the bench, and he accepted that role. How many former MVPs do we know? Who's going to win a Sixth Man of the Year? Derrick Rose was in contention, for a couple of these years, but like I don't really know any MVPs, any former MVPs off the top of my head who are going to be Sixth Man of the Year. I'm not saying he's going to be Sixth Man of the Year, but for me, he's going to be Sixth Man of the Year. So he deserves a lot of credit for sacrificing and, putting the team first, because it's very easy. If you're a former MVP, your ego is very big because you know that you're that guy. But like when a team asks you to come off the bench, you're like, I don't want to come off the bench. Why am I coming off the bench? Is what's it called? Is Patrick Beverley better than me? No. And he's not. Patrick Beverley is not better than Russ, but Russ, fits better off the bench. And I'm glad he realized that, and he's been playing extremely well. So shout out to Russ, man. He's been going crazy off as of late, and he deserves a lot of love for sure. He's been playing extremely well. And I don't even know if the Lakers should trade him at this point. They should just let it ride because he's been playing extremely well. There's no reason for you to give him up. So Russ is my award winner for this award. Other candidates include Bobby Portis for sure, Norman Powell for sure, Jordan Poole, and as of late, Victor Oladipo. If I were to be a little bit biased and give it to someone who's been playing for the Heat, he's been kind of making a little bit of a case as well. So, but I think this is going to go to Russ for sure. So, and then the last award, as we all know, is MVP. And man, there's so many candidates for MVP. You obviously have Jason Tatum. You obviously have Luka Doncic. You have Giannis. At one point, Kevin Durant was up there. Joel Embiid. I'm giving it to Jokic. It's boring because Jokic won it the last 2 seasons. But, I mean, at this point, bro, this guy right here is unbelievable. I think he's the best player in the NBA. I'm saying it right now. I think he's the best player in the NBA. What he can do on a basketball floor is so unique. He is one of the top 5 most unique players of all time. With his size and his athleticism, which is zero athleticism, the way he's able to dominate on an NBA court is so masterful. And for where the Denver Nuggets are in the standings, which is, I'm pretty sure they're still number 1 in the West. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure they're still number 1 in the West. And they are, yeah, they're number 1 in the West, leading by half a game. A 7-game winning streak. I mean, bro, what else can you ask for? Jokic is having a monster season. I get it. Last season, he already won this. He already won this the year before. But, like, bro, at this point, like, I don't really know who else is making a better case than Jokic. He hit a game winner the other night. He had 36 last night, 36, 12, and 10. He's averaging a triple-double, 25, 10, and 11. He's shooting 63% from the field. He's even shooting 37% from 3, giving you 1 steal, 1 block a game. Like, bro, like, I don't really know who else you're going to give it to at this point. But Nikola Jokic is that guy. And he is going to be here for a while. He's probably, if I had to say, the best offensive center in the history of the game. Because what he can do, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. He is so unique. And I'm a Heat fan, bro. I should hate Jokic after last season, bro. We were getting into fights with him. But like, I have to accept that Jokic is the guy, bro. Jokic is unbelievable. Like, I've never seen anything like it. He's gonna be my MVP winner. And yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Leave a comment as well as to who you guys think will win these awards. I'll see you out there as always, man. Have a nice day. Peace.